Hi, it's Colleen Schmidt from Divination Counseling Service, here to present a short video on Quincunx. So what is a quincunx? Well, it's a minor aspect. It's 150 degrees. So think about your opposition and then go to either side, and that would be a quincunx. Quincunx has to be, not is, it has to be within 1 degree. As with all minor aspects, whether we're talking about sesquiquadrats or we're talking about semi-squares, they all have to be really tight, tight. So we want them to be within 1 degree. So a quincunx is something that we all go through a lot throughout a year. Okay, and what happens with a quincunx? Well, it tends to make us feel really uncomfortable. We tend to feel helpless with these. And the reason why is because if you think about it, all right, let's take a sign and let's look at it. If you look at the quincunx for Aquarius, you would find that it's Virgo and it's Cancer. Two signs with which Aquarius has nothing to do with. But yet, there is a time, one day of the year, if we're looking at the sun, Mercury or the moon might only be a couple hours, but we're looking at periods of time where in the sign of Aquarius, that sun or whatever it is that you're looking at is going to feel uncomfortable due to what they call in the book, and I love this, subtle difficulties and a sense of helplessness. It's about inefficiency and mismanagement. That's what it feels like when it's going on. And we are helpless to do anything about it. We can't change it. Okay? So, with that said, the inconjunct transit partakes of the nature of Virgo, which means the sixth house and Mercury, along with Scorpio, the eighth house, Mars and Pluto, so both the rulers from the old system and the new system, and Uranus. They threw Uranus in there. But if you think about anything where Uranus and Mercury are an aspect, there is a sense of being wired, of being very, very nervous. Well, that's what a quincunx feels like. Now, when I had talked about them earlier and I was using para research, planets and aspect, they look at inconjuncts, and there's a real tendency to feel an obligation. But that obligation is actually to ourselves. And I think that's something we have to learn as we go through life. Okay? It's about gaining insights. It's about gaining insights and becoming more efficient as a result of what we're going through. So as we go through these transits every year, we are becoming more efficient as people. So if you're an Aquarius and the sun happens to be in Cancer on a specific day, you're going to feel very uncomfortable. As a matter of fact, it's going to be difficult for you to express yourself. Your self-expression is stymied. It's like you're dealing with details that are causing difficulties that aren't allowing you to fully express who you are. And this can happen while the sun is in Virgo. It can happen when the sun is in Cancer. Okay? So that's just giving you a little bit of a background. When the sun is in conjunct the natal moon, everyday life can become very annoying. Okay, because of the difficulties that tend to come up, unexpected financial difficulties, problems relating to the opposite sex, and just that whole emotional concept. You just don't feel like you're just not on even keel with that. When the sun inconjuncts Mercury, there's a lot of difficulties related to work, health, relationships with superiors, disagreements over work, how to work, methodologies, and just oftentimes very unpleasant consequences as a result of that. With natal Venus, there could be adjustments in financial affairs as well as in relationships. And artistic endeavors can run into detail issues. Okay. With, and this is all with the sun, with natal Mars, there could be annoyances and conflicts with authority figures, methodologies, overwork, diet, and health. Um, Also could be involved with Mars. Mars is also when you could have the danger of an accident, particularly on the job with tools or machinery. Um, but it's just that you're so frustrated. You're frustrated. There's a key word for you here: frustration. Frustration with obligations. Okay. For Saturn, it's heavy responsibilities in professional affairs and in business activities. It's like work responsibilities interfere with your personal life when this happens. So you're not allowed to go to your children's baseball game because you have a work meeting, that kind of thing. The sun in natal Uranus would be unexpected difficulties at work, social, romantic activities, dealings with children could be rather difficult, difficulties with electronics. Remember that Uranus is one of the planets that they talk about, and they do have a thing called mutual reception. So it is possible that you can also experience mutual reception with regards to a quincunx. Unexpected problems can arise, affecting group association, friendships, all the things associated with Uranus. When it's in conjunct the natal Pluto, it's work, health, children, romance, business activities, everything. Occupational hazards can also threaten you on those days when Pluto is in conjunct with the sun. Okay, so it's your health is involved. Everything comes on the line with regards to that. Now, if you're going into the moon, then it's domestic, it's family affairs. So the moon brings in different qualities. Food can become an issue. What you're eating can become an issue. So you have a Jupiter moon. Watch this overindulgence of food, and rich foods in particular are going to cause you a problem. Absolutely. With Mercury, the moon can affect everyday chores. There's delays and confusions in communications, and uh, everything that's going on, once again, lack of attention to detail, all of that can affect your health. So just giving you just a little bit of information. Now, I do want to point out that everything I'm talking about at this point and up until now has related to transits, not necessarily birth charts. However, I do want to point out that many of us, self included, carry Quincunx in our natal charts. And yes, they're going to react the same way, right down to the mutual receptions. I have a little bit of one. I have, just to give you some explanation here, I have a Venus in Aquarius that is an exact in conjunct within 20 minutes to Pluto in Virgo. Now, right there, you should have picked that up. Uranus is one of the planets. My Venus is ruled by it because it's in the sign of Aquarius. And Mercury is the other planet involved, and my Virgo Pluto fits that bill. Okay? And I can tell you that what life has taught me is that I need to be very safe and very careful within my relationships. Socially, my work, Pluto, is actually in the 7th house, I'm sorry, and my Venus is in the 11th, and my associations, my relationships, often come through my work, my associations in work, okay, the group activities. Now, interestingly enough, I would have no social life if I didn't have partners. So that should make sense too. My 7th house Pluto to my 11th house, my associates, Venus. That is very true. So just to give you a little example of how it can work, but understand that the reason why they can be, and I will give you we'll look at a couple things on the computer before I end, but I really want to stress this. Please understand that the reason why quincunxes can be rather difficult is because the two energies don't have anything in common. Nothing. As I stated earlier, they have nothing in common. They're not oppositions. It's the sign on either side of the opposition, which I'm going to show you a paper of in a moment. So the next things I want to do is I want to show you very quickly the glyph, which is, I like to call it tabletop with an inverted V. And we're going to look at that. And then we're going to look at my paper, which has all of the quincunx listed. So starting with Aries, which would be, oh, this is always the remote. It's Aries is Pisces. No, not Pisces. Yeah, I think it is Pisces and Scorpio. But we'll go look, not Pisces, because that's right next to it. That's a different minor aspect. See what I just did there? Let's pull it up so I don't have to guess, okay? Because I'm terrible while I'm doing a video to do that. So let's go and look at first the glyph. So here we are. This is a quincunx. A quincunx is a tabletop with an inverted V, or as I like to say, weird legs. So that is what a quincunx looks like. So if you go out to Solar Fire, Ceres, Janus, some of the software that we have out there, you'll see this. This is in the reports, particularly if you use glyphs. And I do recommend it because they take up less space. So there's your glyph. Now, the next thing I'm going to pull up is the whole listing for the zodiac of the quincunx. So here we have the paper, and it's Aries, Virgo, and Scorpio. See what I mean? I had to really think about this. So for me, this paper, this cheat sheet is pretty important. Even though I should know all this stuff, I've been doing astrology for decades, but it's like that moment. You should think of it at the moment, right? Taurus would be Libra and Sagittarius. Gemini, Scorpio, and Capricorn. Cancer, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. Leo is Capricorn, Pisces. Virgo is Aries and Aquarius. Libra, Taurus, and Pisces. Scorpio, Aries, and Gemini. Sagittarius is Taurus and Cancer. Capricorn is Leo and Gemini. Aquarius is Virgo and Cancer. Pisces, Leo, and Libra. So hopefully this, like I say, do a screenshot. It's really handy if you really want to start studying the quincunx. If you really want to start looking at it, this is where you might want to start, by creating a little chart for yourself of just what is a quincunx of something else. And keep it around your astrology, because we do go through these all the time, and they're rather important in helping us to create a better, efficient, I want to say a more efficient life for ourselves, a more using our personal power in a more effective way. So each time we go through a quincunx, we're getting more and more efficient in how we run our own life. Thank you for watching this video, and if you would, like, share, comment, help the algorithms. We're a small educational channel. With that said, until we meet again, I wish you all only happy reading.